Remember when we discussed the paperclip, the panoramic view, and looking for different opportunities? Collegiality is another place it should be developed and applied. Almost all good leaders have developed staff teams that analyze student data or what students are learning. They have school or grade or department discussions on curriculum trends. Or they have staff members report to the school or their group meeting about a seminar or workshop they attended. They are consciously confident at connecting staff at this level and are always searching for new data and things to analyze. Reflexes leaders know that's not enough to ignite true collegiality and collaboration and to create that learning community of dedicated professionals. True collegiality is about building relationships based on a common goal, vision, and intended legacy. It's not only about caring, it's about sharing as well. Reflexes leaders provide opportunities for staff to talk to each other about their profession, not just what is going to be learned, but also how and why it's being learned. Most schools have mentors for first year teachers. This helps and guides the new teacher at becoming more proficient and better at what they do. But what about the third and fifth and 20th year veterans? Is their only connection to each other through collaboratively working together on dissecting grades or curriculum? Or worse yet, when they get a piece of cake that Mrs. Smith brought in today? Reflexes leaders have schools that combine collaboration and collegiality as a practice of the mind and heart, where staff not only works together, but also share together. One of the practices I used in every school was to have teachers observe each other. By using a panoramic view, I was able to bring in one substitute a week. And this substitute would go to a class, allowing that teacher to go and observe another teacher of their choice. The teachers would then discuss the lesson and talk about the positive things they observed and the possibilities of strengthening that lesson. Both the teacher that was observed and the observing teacher would share at a staff meeting the findings of their observation. At one school, the teachers enjoyed the novelty of this so much. Some staff voluntarily, believe it or not, gave up their prep time to observe their peers. Now, as we discussed previously, Reflexes leaders trust the staff as professionals and create the opportunity to build relationships where they can learn from each other. They broaden the topic of discussion to allow staff to talk about practice. Reflexes leaders also observe and ask staff members to share their practice. This habitual sharing, observing, and discussing creates another layer of creativity, ideas, and possibilities. Remember the school culture? One of the values was celebration of success, and another was recognition and appreciation. Allowing staff to observe each other and share the positive findings addresses both these areas and over time becomes a reflexive part of the school culture. Reflexive leaders have staff talking with one another about practice. They have staff sharing skills and knowledge. They have staff observing one another, and they have staff celebrating one another's successes. In Long Island, there's a group of private school principals and heads of schools that meet regularly to discuss current trends in education, problems and situations in their building, and celebrate professional and personal milestones. When I was a doctoral student, the cohort was divided into study and support groups based on geographic proximity. There were 5 professionals in my group, and we struggled through that doctoral process together. Even after we finished the required courses, we continued to meet each month to discuss our schools, different situations, dilemmas, successes, and mistakes. We shared our knowledge and skills and encouraged and motivated each other to reach our highest potential. Now remember, reflexive leaders begin with themselves and practice what they preach. They look for opportunities to share with other school leaders. They creatively find opportunities to share their practice and knowledge with other school leaders and have other leaders share with them. They form their own support and study group to share and learn from one another. They invite other principals to observe them and look to observe other schools and other school leaders. They talk about leadership practice and celebrate one another's successes. Again, fostering a habitual, collegial, and collaborative learning community. In addition to building these collaborative and collegial relationships with and among staff, reflexive leaders also build those relationships with all members of their learning community.